Welcome back, it's me Lou, and I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today we are looking at this. It comes from Hasbro and it is the new Ghostbuster action figures. So this falls into the more budget line of action figures. So you're looking at something that runs about maybe $9.99 to $10.99. Much like Hasbro's other budget figures. These feature toys that are more limited in articulation, limited in paint applications, and keep in mind these are aimed more towards kids than adult collectors because this isn't necessarily a premium item. This is really more of a toy in general. But the cool thing about this, this really tugs at your nostalgic strings because what you have here is a cartoon interpretation of the 1984 Ghostbusters. In this case, more specifically, Egon Spengler. And I'm excited about this. If you've seen my preview video where I kind of showcased the 4 team members and the Ecto-1, you kind of already know what these toys are about. So let's get to it. All right, so first off, a beautiful package. Love the graphic design. You have the iconic Ghostbusters logo in the upper left. You kind of have the hazard colors along the top. And that's very reminiscent of the hazard colors that you saw in the Ghost Traps. Beautiful, beautiful drawing of Egon Spengler. And here we have Egon. So this action figure is kind of like a weird amalgamation of the original Kenner's action figures from the the early 90s or late 80s, because it kind of has that more retro 5-point articulated aesthetic versus, this is kind of based off of more like, it's a kind of a caricature of the original actor, Harold Ramis. It's fun, it's cool, and I don't know. Not much else to say. If you haven't checked it out already, check out that preview video. I kind of go a little bit more in depth about what's going on in here. So yeah, we have his Proton Pack off to the left, the figure framed in the middle, and every figure comes with a ghost accessory, which is kind of like it's like a little mini fig. In this case, we have this. He almost looks like the Big Boy mascot, and here it shows his play feature. You close him up, and then his belly explodes, and you see revealing the ghost inside of him. Here we have the 1984 seal, letting you know this is classic Ghostbusters. On the back, we have our ghost friend again, and here's his fright feature. And a brief description of Egon. Egon is the brains behind the bustin'. Egon Spengler takes on the most frightening ghosts in town. So with that being said, let's take a look at Egon himself. Okay, we have Egon Spengler. So first impressions of the action figure while it's still in the tray. Looks cool. I've said this before with this new line of figures. As much as I love the aesthetic and the fact that it's a callback to the old retro figs, but incorporating the somewhat exaggerated, realistic look of the real actors, I'm not too hot on their facial expressions. I think it doesn't do a really good job of capturing the personality and the character. Egon here, he might be an exception to that rule just because in the movies he's a very serious character, and here he looks very solemn, very serious, as opposed to some of the other characters like the Peter Venkman figure. He also has a very neutral looking face, and for me that works against his character because in the movies he's very charismatic, very charming. And even though I kind of wish they did a little bit more with Egon's expression, this is very befitting of the character because he's a very serious, scientist. So he looks great on the tray. Let's get him out. So we have Egon. We have his Proton Pack accessory. And we have the little ghost. So every figure on the core team comes with this little ghost. There's two different styles. This is that big boy mascot looking kind of deal, and you'll also find this with the Winston Zeddemore figure. The only difference is that they have different colors. Egon's ghost is orange versus Winston's, which is yellow. It's pretty neat. You close the two halves, and then you kind of have this guy. He looks very jolly. He's very robust. So he has a button on the back, and that's the play feature. So you press that down, and then it opens up like that. So the two halves explode outwards. And then when you press the button, his head also kind of bobs up and down. So very fun, very cool. It's a nice little addition to your small collection. It's cool that you get a free ghost. I mean, that's free. You still pay for it. It's cool that they provide this ghost accessory with every figure. So essentially, you're getting two figures. Moving on to Egon. So with these action figures, they all share the same body. The only thing different is that each one has a unique head sculpt befitting of the the actor. And it's based off of the more traditional classic 5 points articulation. So you just have the head, this rotates left and right. The arms move up and down. And likewise, same with the legs. So this is a budget action figure, but at the same time, since it's capturing that more classic aesthetic, more articulation is not expected. This is really trying to be in line more with the original Kenner toys. And it's nice. The sculpting's well done. Nice crisp sculpting. You see that along in the belt buckle. See, it also has a socket in the back so you can plug in the Proton Pack. The paint applications are pretty clean, as you can see here with the Ghostbuster symbol and with his badge with his name on it. Yeah, so overall, very, very, very nice figure. It really meets the expectations of what a figure like this is supposed to embody. It has that classic aesthetic with the classic articulation, but at the same time, it pulls in the likeness of the actual actor, Harold Ramis, but it kind of presents it more in terms of like a caricature. And I think it works really well. The Proton Pack has some really nice sculpting. There's a socket here, so you can actually plug this in for storage. Line it up correctly. You line it up and plug it into the tab. You align the peg with the socket and plug in, and it's a nice, snug fit. It's not going anywhere. It's made of a softer, rubbery kind of plastic, which is alright. I do wish they'd provide more paint application on the Proton Pack. But as this being a retro figure and also a budget figure, it's to be expected that they're not going to go overboard. And what's curious is that it looks like there's actually there's another tab here, and I believe you can even plug the attachment onto that side as well. One thing all these figures are missing is that they're missing the ghost trap. It would have been nice if, one or two of the figures came with the ghost trap accessory, or even the streams to attach at the end, but they don't, but that's alright. So yeah, we have Egon here. Very nice figure. And since we're speaking of Egon, let's take out his retro counterpart. So this was the re-release of the Ghostbuster figures that were exclusive to Walmart. These came out last year. So these are very, very much in line with the original Kenner toys. So as you can see, this guy here also features 5 points of articulation. His aesthetic, he looks more like how Egon appeared in the cartoon. And they're roughly about the same height. So I think you could probably display both of these on the same shelf. You have the old school looking figure here, and you kind of have the newer school looking figure. You know, they both kind of retain that retro classic articulation and feel and plastic. But if you want to graduate to the more premium figure, we have the Plasma Series Egon over here, minus his accessories. So this is, you know, if you're a more serious collector, or you like stuff like Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series, this is up more your alley. This came out last year as well. So it's pretty neat. You have 3 different versions of Egon, all released probably like within a little over a year of each other. Yeah, so I think this is, you know, if you're into Ghostbusters, there's no reason why you shouldn't be like exploring these new line of toys. They're pretty neat. If you're a fan or grew up, you know, with the older style figures, you know, there's something for you. If you're more about the serious toys and you want something that looks more like a Marvel Legends or a Star Wars Black Series, you know, Hasbro offers this assortment. And it's nice that somewhere in between they meet us in the middle and they give us this. It's retro designed, but it's, you know, kind of has more of a modern aesthetic, especially with the realistic look of the actor. Albeit it's a bit more exaggerated and more cartoony. But I think this figure doesn't disappoint. If you love Ghostbusters in general, I think you'll really get a kick out of this line. It's affordable, and it's, you know, it's easy to complete the team. So if I had to rate this guy numerically, I'd easily give him, I don't know, an 8. He does what he's supposed to do. You know, I don't expect his articulation to be any more or less. It'd be nice to get, you know, 1 or 2 more accessories like a ghost trap and maybe some more additional paint application on the Proton Pack. But for what it is and for what I paid, I think it's worth it. You know, it's a nice, decent value, and it'll look great on any shelf. So let's wrap this up. Once again, my name is Lou. Thank you so much for checking out this video. You know, if you haven't checked out the preview video where I showcase all the figures carded, check that out. And yeah, hopefully I'll bring you more Ghostbuster goodness. So until the next time, take care.